Hello people, so I wanted to just sit down and have a little chat about something that I consider and think about every time I go to a social event or I'm out with friends or whatever, and that is taking pictures and, more importantly, filming things to preserve the moment and then being able to go back to it and actually just living in the moment and experiencing what's actually happening. I hear so many complaints about people constantly taking pictures and filming events. And yeah, I agree, most of the time this does get a little bit out of hand. You see people looking at their phone more than they're actually looking at the event itself. This is more true to like watching people perform on stage. And there are a lot of times when I look at videos on YouTube of performances from singers or comedians or things like that, where all you see is just a crowd of people with their phones in the air just filming the entire thing, or practically the entire thing. And you know, people complain that they're not actually watching the performer. They are constantly looking at their phone to make sure they're in shot. But there are a lot of times where I feel like it's okay, where you can film and take pictures of things because you want to preserve it. You want to be able to look back at something. So when is it okay to capture the moment? So for me personally, if I decide not to take pictures or to film things, I'm afraid that I won't be able to re-experience it, that I'm just going to forget it, or forget the majority of it anyway. But again, if you're constantly filming things and taking pictures of things, capturing the moment, are you actually living it? So I've got a really good example for you. Last year I went to the Harry Potter studio tour, and admittedly my biggest reason for wanting to go there was to make a vlog out of it, to film it. I had been there before, so I wasn't actually too bothered about seeing everything. My main reason was to capture it and to have a nice little video on this channel. But that did come with some drawbacks, because obviously they're always adding new things in, you know, they're always changing things about and adding things and all this stuff. And I also realised when I got home that there were a couple of sets that I completely missed out on. Like, I didn't actually see the Gryffindor common room set and the Gryffindor dormitory set, because the whole day I was just looking around. If I saw a set, I'll go over there, take films, take pictures, and then go. But there were also moments where, say for example, Dumbledore's office, his actual desk and the books around it, the actual set itself, you can't actually have a close-up look of. So in those moments I actually zoomed in so that I could have a proper look at what was on his desk and the books and all that kind of stuff, which was awesome, and that is a really good time to film things. But again, I was also aware that I had been before, and there is always a chance I'm going to go again. In fact, I'm kind of hoping to go again this winter so that I could re-experience Hogwarts in the snow. Another good reason to go again is because they're opening up the Forbidden Forest, so there's always a reason to go back, and you know, it's one of the greatest places on earth if you're a Harry Potter fan. So I guess things like that aren't really so bad, but it is things like one-off concerts. Like, if you have the opportunity to be that close to one of your favourite artists, wouldn't you want to just stand there and really live it and experience it? But there have been other times when I have cared more about preserving the moment than actually living it, because you know, there is that need. You feel the need to be able to preserve it and capture it, and to be able to look back on it, and also to show other people what you've been up to. But there are times when I think, if I look back at some footage and all I was doing that day was concentrating on filming things, making sure things are in focus and in shot, my memories of that particular moment might just be making sure my camera was in shot and in focus and not actually on the event itself. But then here's another really good question: do we need to capture all of the moment, or are there moments when we could put our cameras away and actually experience it? So for example, when I went to see my favourite band Unit 6 last year in concert, there were times when I was filming, but other times when I wasn't filming. I did film most of the songs they performed, but I only filmed like half of the song, and the rest of it I was jumping about, and I didn't actually film every song they did. But when I was there, it wasn't just the fact that I wanted to see the band, my favourite band, and it was such a great experience. It was also the fact that I did want to capture it so that I could look back on it and make a video of it. Because, you know, if you want to be a vlogger, you tend to want to be able to film everything. So yeah, I don't regret filming bits at the G7X concert, because most of it I didn't even film. Most of it was me actually experiencing it, and that was the main important thing. So when I do go back and watch my video, I remember how I felt while I was there watching them, because I was able to give myself that experience. Whereas if I was to go there with the core purpose of filming everything, then I wouldn't be able to actually look back and remember how I felt, remember how awesome it was to be that close to them. But actually, most of the time I'm actually watching artists. I actually have my phone higher than my head, and I just hope I'm in shot and in focus. When I was at Reading Festival last year, I always held my phone high up and I just pointed it in the direction of where they were. Every now and then I would look up to see if they were roughly in shot, but the rest of it I would actually just be enjoying it. But again, I wasn't filming all of the concert, all of the shows or whatever. I would only be filming parts of it. So in my opinion, that is the best way to go about it, I guess. But I always feel like when I haven't filmed things, like before I was filming things, if I look back at moments, I can remember it, but it seems more vague, and I always feel like if I had filmed back then, I would remember it better. And that is a very valid point. Like, especially if it's a one-off event, like you're never going to experience this again, you're gonna want to film it, you're gonna want to capture the moment and preserve it so that you don't forget it. My view is it's okay to do a bit of both. So what do you guys think? Do you like to preserve the moment, capture the moment, whether it be taking pictures or filming things? When do you think it gets a bit too much? Write down your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a nice discussion going. And yeah, that's it for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I make 2 videos a week. But until then, I will see you next time.